Hey everybody, this is GGB co-host Peppers. We're going to get into my winners and losers of this preseason game. I hope you guys enjoyed last video of the Hall of Fame game. I'm going to try and do this for as many games as possible. And I hope you guys also like and subscribe to this channel. But the main thing I noticed with these winners and losers is a lot of them are running backs, so keep that in mind, and a lot of them are Patriots. They did win the game, so that makes sense. So my first winner of the game is a guy that I was really underrating, I guess, and it was Ramondre Stevenson out of New England. There's two running backs I really like for the Patriots I thought won this game, if I'm going to be honest, if they're trying to make the team, and Ramondre Stevenson definitely made a case for being a major part of this offense moving forward. He had, again, 10 carries, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and obviously the run that put the game away. That was a 91-yard run, and it went all the way to the end zone. It was insane. Great play by Ramondre Stevenson. He's actually looking like a really good player that I think is going to be involved in this Patriots offense moving forward. Let's go to the Washington team for a player I think won this game, and it's going to be that undrafted back out of Buffalo, Jarrett Patterson. I was very high on Jarrett Patterson in the draft. I had him top 10 running backs in my eyes. And he somehow went undrafted, and I was so excited when Washington picked him up. I was worried about his chances of making the roster because, again, keeping 4 running backs is something some teams do, and I think it's his only chance of making the roster. But you watch what he did yesterday, or 2 days ago now that I'm recording this video, but Jarrett Patterson ended up having 10 rushes for 40 yards, most yards of any running back, right? Averaged 4 yards per carry. He also had 4 catches, 30 yards in the passing game. So he's proven he's a decent you can throw to him in the backfield, and he'll be pretty good. And also, if he's running the ball, he's really good. And honestly, that comparison to Darren Sproles is not off base at all from what I saw. Small back who can do a lot. I think he can make the team as the number 4 back and maybe cut into J.D. McKissic's snaps a little bit. Let's go to the other Patriots running back I thought won this game, and it's going to be J.J. Taylor. I don't remember I think it was a 7th-round pick out of Arizona State. Arizona. He was he was out of Arizona. I don't know why I thought he was out of Arizona State, but the reason why I think he won this game was because James White is getting up there in age, and obviously they need to find a replacement for the James White kind of role. And the Patriots use the most running back by committee of all the teams in the entire NFL, in my opinion. They do it the best, and they do it the most. And the fact is, for this offense to work, you have to have at least 4 really good running backs. And you have one in Ramondre Stevenson, I think. You have one in Damian Harris. And I think Sony Michel's there too. But the real question is, what is the future for them behind James White? Because let's be honest, James White is not going to be a Patriot forever. And they need someone to take that role of catching the ball. He's 29 now, and I just feel like he's going to go somewhere else in his career after the Patriots, and I feel like the Patriots can move on from him now that I saw J.J. Taylor. J.J. Taylor looks like a phenomenal passing down back. He can run the ball, sure, he had 2 carries, 10 yards, but the thing I was most excited about is 5 catches for 31 yards. Didn't drop the ball, I don't think, at all in the game. Very exciting player. I love J.J. Taylor. I'm really excited to see what he can do with this Patriot team moving forward. Let's go back to the Washington's running backs to do one more winner on the Washington running back side of things. I understand I focus on the running backs because I just really liked a lot what I saw of the running backs today. Again, you might think I'm going to say Gibson. I'm not going to say Gibson. Gibson was a player I thought did well today, but also didn't wow me. He didn't amaze me with his ability. The player that I think did, we all know what we're getting out of Antonio Gibson, and it's going to be something good. But Peyton Barber, to me, in my opinion, it was like, it reminded all Washington fans why Peyton Barber is on this team, and he's a power back. And I understand a lot of people don't think power backs are that important. They're wrong. Peyton Barber proved his worth to this team, and if you ever need a short yardage situation, he's going to grind it out. He's going to get that first down. He was amazing in this game. He really was. His 6 carries, only 20 yards. But again, he was able to just push his way through the middle. And it's the reason why he's a necessary part of this team. Now, I'm going to do 2 more winners on this side of things. Actually, 3 more winners, 3 more Patriot winners, in my opinion. Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a guy I'm going to be honest, didn't love. I did not love him coming out of college. I thought he was the 5th best quarterback in the draft. You can go back and watch my draft live stream. It's what I said when he was drafted. I was saying, this is a decent pick for the Pats. Don't think he's even close to the best quarterback in this draft class. Don't think he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. If he is what we saw tonight, I understand it's an overreaction. A lot of people overreact when they see these things. Mac Jones is really solid. He was a very solid player for the. I mean, he read the defense as well, especially from being a rookie. He was able to put the ball in places where I didn't think he was going to be able to put it. Now, he did overthrow a couple of deep balls, and that is something you need to watch for going forward. But outside of that, he was able to place the ball extremely well. I think has a very solid future in the NFL if he plays like he played tonight. Another winner, in my opinion, let's go to the defensive side of things. And I understand it's not a player that's going to wow you with his stats, in my opinion. But it's Josh Uche. And I understand many people don't know who that is. But Josh Uche only had 2 total tackles, 1 solo tackle. But he was impacting the game in a way that just isn't going to put up on the stat sheet. He was pressuring the QB. He was just getting after it. He was covering really well. And he's a player that you got to watch out for. I think he's going to make a huge impact on this Patriots team. Watch out for Josh Uche to become a player that everyone knows in a couple of years. I love Josh. And then finally, the last winner, on my opinion, is it's got to be the kicker. Kicker for the Pats, Quinn Nordin. Quinn Nordin, I understand he missed an extra point, but he was 3 for 3 on actual kicking. He had a long of 50. And again, if Quinn Nordin keeps playing like this, I don't know if he's going to take Nick Folk's job. I think it's definitely possible he takes Nick Folk's job. But he's definitely trying out for another team. Because, I mean, imagine if you're another team, your kicker sucks. Like if you're the Lions and your kicker is garbage. But you need a new kicker, right? And this Quinn Nordin guy, who, again, they said it was on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago. He ends up looking amazing. He could make a different team, and this is a win for Quinn Nordin. He showed off his ability to kick. Great player. Love him. I think he's going to do well in the NFL. He's another winner I had tonight. Now let's go to my losers of the night. And loser 1 right off the bat, just straight up. It has to be the quarterbacks for the Washington Redskins. Now, I'm going to do 2 QBs for my losers of the night, so stick with me here. I think the number 1 loser of the night it's got to be Taylor Heinicke, because Taylor Heinicke went out there, and to me, he didn't wow. He didn't wow me with his ability. And let's be honest, Taylor Heinicke was always going to have it was going to be an uphill battle for him to win this starting gig, right? So it was always going to be difficult for him to win this thing, but it's going to be even more difficult now that he didn't wow in this game. It's the fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick went out. He only threw 8 passes, but he completed 5 of them. He looked really good. On the other hand of things, Taylor Heinicke went up there, only went 9 of 15, didn't have any spectacular plays. It's just, I mean, it's just something that Taylor Heinicke's going to have to live with, is he has to play perfect. If he did not play perfect tonight, that's why I think he's the loser for tonight. Another loser of the Washington quarterbacks, it's got to be Kyle Allen. And Kyle Allen didn't even play, and it's gonna be one of those things. I've got to do this a couple more times, especially the next episode with the Steelers Eagles. But you lose if you don't play. Kyle Allen right now is losing because he's not playing. If Kyle Allen's playing, I 100% think he's a better QB than Steven Montez, right? But right now he's not playing. He's not proving that he's a better quarterback than Steven Montez, and Steven Montez looked good last night. If Kyle Allen went out there and was equally as good or even better, we'd all be like, oh, yeah, Kyle Allen's going to be this third-string QB or even second-string if you trust him more than Taylor Heinicke. Right now, he can't prove anything because he's hurt. So he's the big loser of the night, because if he doesn't play again, I mean, Steven Montez might just end up taking that number 3 spot. And then finally, the other loser of the night, in my opinion, I mean, it has to be Dustin Hopkins, because I don't see a way around it. He went 0 for 2 kicking. He made his 1 extra point. But the kicks could have been huge in this game. Again, they ended up losing by 9 points. But they were within 2 at one point. It was likely going to be tied if the refs didn't mess it up. They did mess up the call, but that could have been a huge impact in this game if they just make those field goals. But he didn't, and now if I'm the Redskins, I bring in competition. I'm just saying. I think competition breeds better players. I legitimately do believe that. And I believe sometimes you don't have, like, if your player's so good, you just don't have competition for him. Like, you're not bringing in a kicker to compete with Justin Tucker. It's just not something you would do. It makes no sense. Why would you do that? But for a player, Dustin Hopkins, yeah, bring in a player to compete with him, and either the other guy does well, and he's the kicker for this team, or he makes Dustin Hopkins better. The competition does. I don't see a downside of it, especially with the way Dustin Hopkins repaid you for your faithfulness last night. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other winners and losers, put them in the comment section below. But hey, everybody, this is GGB, Co-host Pepper saying adios, amigos.